The other thing that I like about classic reports is you don't just have to display data as data. It doesn't have, or rather, it doesn't have to look like tabular data. It doesn't have to look like a whole bunch of rows and information. And one of the ways that I like to use this, I like to use classic reports for this, is the badge list report. It's a great way for you just to kind of make a nice summary record that shows different metrics or how information is broken down into different buckets. And we could potentially extend this even further with HTML expression to kind of inject or kind of change exactly how information is being rendered. Let me show you. So up here at the top of my screen, and let me go ahead and actually reset. I'll just click on total here. You can see that it's saying the total is 14. There's four salesmen, 3 clerks, 2 analysts, 1 president, a manager, 1 person with a low salary, and 3 people with a high salary. Okay. Let me go ahead and click on total and let's see what happens. I click on total, the page kind of does a little refresh here, and you can see that we're looking at all 14 records. Granted, I am using an interactive report here, but I'm talking about how exactly we kind of get this summary information, and you might actually link to somewhere else in your application. I'm just kind of staying on this one page. And so this is kind of interesting. It allows me to kind of roll up information for me to look at here. And when I click on these, say I want to see, well, who exactly is a salesman? What exactly are the 4 salesmen? When I click on this, you can see that it filters my interactive report so that it only looks at salesmen. Or maybe I want to see, well, who are the 3 individuals with a high salary? What does a high salary mean? Well, apparently it means to be a high salary if your salary is greater than or equal to 3,000. And we want to see those records. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool, but how is that? How does that happen, or what's going on here? Well, let's go ahead and edit our page and see what this looks like. It turns out that I have a SQL statement, and I'm just getting a count, and I'm just doing a whole bunch of different sums based on different cases. I'm saying case when this is true, or that is true, or this is true, or that is true, kind of add these things into different buckets. And you can see that I'm doing an exact match on values, or I'm doing some sort of comparison. And then if it matches, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 1. And if it doesn't match, I'm going to give it a 0. Don't get too caught up on sum versus, you can use a sum here, or you can do count and return null. There's different ways that you can ultimately do this type of report. I'm not really worried about how exactly you come up with this. Let's go ahead and say okay. Well, then how exactly is it that when I click on those, it's filtering the report below? Well, this is the great part. We are still using all the declarative features of Apex. We don't have to write dynamic actions to do all sorts of things to kind of manipulate how exactly our page is going to look. Quite simply, all we do is we just pick the different columns, and I'll say total, and I just change it to a link. And when I click on it, in this example here, we'll say I'm currently on page 30, so I'll say go to page 30, and then I'm going to say reset the interactive report that's on page 30, which basically means show me everything or all of the records. Cool. And just kind of show you how I did high salary. You can see that I said go to page 30, and this is a special syntax here. It says to the interactive report, add a greater than or equal to filter to the salary column, and the value that I would like to filter on is 3,000. And I also make sure that I reset the interactive report so that any existing filters go away. This is one thing that I really like about the interactive report, is that it's easy to filter it through the URL. And I believe that feature's coming to interactive grids, or maybe it did come to interactive grids in this release. I don't remember. Yeah, so that, oh, I didn't yet explain what template I used. So let me clarify that. All I did is that in the attributes of my classic report, all I did is said be a badge list. I guess technically that's not all I did. I did say to apply theme colors, and I like to use the grid style. The grid style is what kind of makes those little boxes, and I just really like how that looks, so I prefer to use that. Another thing that you might want to watch out for is because this is a summary, it's only going to display one row ever, so I don't need to see the pagination at the bottom right-hand corner saying one of one row. I don't want that. So I also changed the pagination to be no pagination. Show all rows, okay? Because I'm only ever going to get one row. All right.